What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are live here on Monday night, 8 p.m., and it is about to go down. It is time to have one of the most serious conversations about the Miami Dolphins that we've had in quite some time. It's time to lay all the facts out on the line and give our opinions on what is really going on. What is really going on in Miami? There's a lot of things being said, but no one knows the truth but two men, Brian Flores and Chris Grier. And today, Brian Flores spoke on some details, and we're going to break it all down here today on TDPHINSTALK. Get your popcorn, grab your drink, sit back, relax, and watch some Monday Night Football while we discuss this, because I'm not playing anymore. It's time to go in. Before we get started, for the record, don't come on here tonight trying to just argue to argue. Don't start saying just off-the-wall stuff. I am not sitting here telling you that Tua Tagovailoa is trash or bum or anything like that. I am straight up telling you what this coaching staff or what this front office and Brian Flores and Chris Grier is hinting to, in my opinion, because something ain't adding up. So they're leaving us to believe things, or we gonna get into it today, baby. We're gonna get into it today. But what's up, everybody? Y'all let me know how you're doing in the comment section. Put your fins up if everything is A-OK and you are loving the day. Put your fins up right now, guys, as you hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe right now. Make sure you check me out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Sportscaster, and DolphinsTalk.com for my content as well. You can also send a donation via PayPal, Cash App, and thank you all who does Super Chat while I'm live giving a donation. It's always appreciated, especially since YouTube is trying to take my revenue right now, but that's a whole nother story. But anywho, love y'all, appreciate y'all love and support as always. Thank y'all for your support, man. Listen, it's time to get into the nitty-gritty, the meat and potatoes of it all. We are about to play Brian Flores' press conference, and we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down, ladies and gentlemen. We are really going to break it down. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab me some water, and we should be good. Sorry, y'all. Got to keep that H2O. Because this is going to be work, baby. Let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. Y'all ready for this? Put it in the comment section if you're ready for it. Yes or no? Are you ready for this, man? Because we're about to expose some stuff. Ain't no more hiding, man. You can't hide it from us anymore. We are about to expose some stuff. There ain't no more hiding the truth from us, man. I'm sick of it. Here we go, man. All right. Brian, and shout out to the media. Shout out to the media finally getting it right. I was sitting there like, let me listen to this Brian Flores press conference. Man, is the media even going to get it right? Now, they going to ask them straight out, who going to be the starting quarterback? Man, they did everything that I thought they should. They asked him all the right questions. I mean, I would have pressed a little moto, but they asked him all the right questions. And it's time to break down these answers. As the Patriot, man, if the Chiefs lose this game as they turn it over again. Oh, the ref bailed Mahomes out? Because that was a turnover. Y'all, I'm sorry, y'all. I was just in the middle of this. The refs must have bailed Mahomes out because that should have been a turnover. Anywho, let's get it, y'all.
Daddy.
Yes, sir. You ask mommy then, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go, man. Let's go. Let me turn this up.
Brian, who's going to be your quarterback on Sunday?
Cat got your tongue? Cat got your tongue?
I'm still going through corrections.
Hold on. Let me play that again. Let me go back again. Let me back up. Let me play that one more time. Make sure I calculated. Make sure I calculated the pause correctly.
Brian, who's going to be your quarterback on Sunday?
Hello, are you there?
I mean, look, we're still going through corrections of the game.
What was that? They asked our head coach, Brian, who's going to be your quarterback on Sunday? I'm like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi. Like, and then he laughs. We got to keep going, though, because it gets so much better.
From yesterday, so, as a staff, we normally kind of start talking about this, this evening. I mean, Fitz, I thought we moved the ball, pretty efficiently yesterday. So, look, I understand where everybody's coming from with Tua.
Stop. This man is content with starting Ryan Fitzpatrick, and it is our job to determine why. I felt like Ryan was moving the ball well. I understand your question about Tua. Ain't nobody, This man is content with starting Ryan Fitzpatrick, and it is our job to find out why. First thing he says, I feel Ryan was moving the ball well. Nobody debated that. Let me just keep going. We'll break it down.
At the same time, he's a young player.
Talk about Tua.
He's coming off the injury, so we'll make the decision on the starter. But I mean, I would presume it's going to be Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me, Ryan, who's going to be your starter? You give us a 50-second pause delay, feel like at least, and then you go straight into, Fitz moved the ball well. I understand why you all are asking me this because of Tua. No, they asking you because Fitz is trash. He's moved the ball well trash. That's what he is. Trash that moves the ball well. It's that simple. And when I say trash, y'all don't get mad. It's not the literal sense. I respect Fitz as a guy, but as a football player, he is trash overall. The man has like a 40% win record in his career. And about all 40% of them wins against bum teams. I don't know if the man beat anybody good in his life. He's a turnover machine in this league. And then he goes on to say, we haven't made that decision yet, but I presume it's going to be Fitz. Joel, grow up, man. Learn how to comprehend. The title says, Miami Dolphins may not believe in Tua. What Brian Flores said today, if you keep listening, you'll understand why the title says that. Instead of thinking it's clickbait. Shout out for the donation from the homie, Derek. He said, imagine a QB who can place the ball where it needs to go consistently. With Tua, we can be a great team. Fins up, baby. We on the way. I agree, but let's finish this because I really want to dive into this title. Miami Dolphins may not believe in Tua. And I'm going to tell you why. Listen, but I got to let y'all hear all of this so you understand why I'm saying, why I put that title there. So anyway, my bad. So he brings up Tua injury in a peculiar way. Nobody asked him about the injury. They just asked who's going to be your starting guy, right? Watch this. And he says, coming off of an injury, and don't say nothing else. And then says, we haven't decided yet, but I will presume it's Fitz. Oh, so you just conveniently throw, coming in off of an injury. All right, so we're going to sit that to the side. Let's keep going, y'all.
In a few different places, so we'll see how it goes throughout the week. And we'll take game one.
Brian, teams react to losing differently.
Oh.
Your players yesterday.
I don't need that. That's about the team losing. I'm getting to just the ones about Tua. Save us some time.
Quarterback play so far in Burrow and Herbert. Is their early system?
So now he's about to be asked about Herbert and Burrow playing early.
Get back to it once we start preparing for another good team, the 49ers. Try to turn things around.
Here we go.
Cam? Hey, Flo, how you doing? I know that you mentioned Tua and his injuries and stuff before, but I know there's two rookie quarterbacks to play so far in Burrow and Herbert. Does their early success have any, influence on maybe how well you think Tua will play once he gets that opportunity?
No, I think every player is different. Every situation is different. So
let's back up. Let's make sure Flores understood the question that was being asked.
Does their early success have any, influence on maybe how well you think Tua will play once he gets that opportunity?
They didn't ask if Herbert and Burrow's success has any influence on whether or not you will start Tua. They did not ask him, does Herbert and Burrow's success have anything to do with whether it have any influence on whether you will start Tua? That ain't what they asked. They asked him, does Herbert and Burrow's success have any influence on if you believe Tua will have success when he does start? So Herbert and Burrow's doing great. Does that have any influence on you on whether or not Tua will do great when he does start? They didn't say whether it has influence on if you'll start him. Just what you think about when Tua does start. They're basically trying to get a gauge on it when Tua does start, whether it's now or next year. Does the other players have a gauge on whether he's going to do well or not?
No, I think every player is different. Every situation is different. So, no, I really don't, look at other players, and I don't play the comparison game with players or really anyone. We're going to do what we feel is best for the Dolphins and for the individual players. Tua or Fitz or Austin Jackson or Robert Hunt or whoever it happens to be. I think it's all case by case, so we don't look at other situations and make decisions off of what other people are doing. We try to do what's best for us, and we'll make decisions with that in mind.
He's still talking about decisions. They didn't even ask him about decisions. They didn't ask him about your decision of starting Tua being influenced. That tells you right there, Brian Flores is so geared to give you a blanket answer that he didn't even listen to the question. They did not ask this man about does Burrow or Herbert, will that influence your decision to start Tua? And that's what he answered. They asked you, does that influence your thought on how well Tua will do when he does start? That shows you right there. He's not answering these questions just straight up. He's answering to make sure that nobody knows what their decision is or why their decision is on Tua. That's what it is. They're not saying something on purpose. They're not saying something on purpose. It's that simple. And this is what I'm talking about. People like Hunter Hayes. This is absolute clownery. Tua is 11 months removed from an injury that has ended others' career. Then all we're asking is for the coach to come out and say, I don't want to rush Tua because of his injury. We still have concerns about his injury. Because I'm about to break down what you just said and what Flores is about to say in a second, because it's buffoonery. It's ridiculous, the narrative. We're about to talk about it.
In weeks and months past, you've been more definitive about Fitz absolutely being your starter, no question about it. Was there something either in the game or when you reviewed the film that gave you pause, that made you wonder, if he's the right guy at this moment?
The pause was.
They questioned his pause at the beginning.
We haven't even gone through the corrections on the game. We're actually in the middle of that right now, so it wasn't on based off of anything in the game. So I hope you guys don't take that the wrong way. But every week we come in on Monday evening after we make all the corrections. Look, we're a quarter of the way through the season now, so we're gonna obviously do an evaluation of our team from that standpoint. Try to play the guys we feel are going to help us turn this thing around and play better in situations like red zone and 2-minute and the fourth quarter, and that'll be at all positions. So that was kind of a conversation we just had as a staff. So I guess that's what gave me some pause. Not something from the game. We just talked about reevaluating everything, every position, every grouping, and we always do that. After every quarter, let's say, and try to moving forward, do the best, do the things that we've been doing well, and try to continue to build on those, and then obviously improve the things where we haven't had as much success.
So you mean to tell me you started earlier in the conversation to say that you presume that the starter will be Fitz, and then you just double back to say a quarter of the way through the season we're going to reevaluate every position and make sure we put those out there who is we're going to put the guys out there that's going to help us win games. We're going to make the adjustments and put the guys out there that's going to help us win games. Are you telling us that Tua can't help us win games? Because you already presume that Fitz is going to be the starter. You already presume that Fitz is going to be the starter, and follows that up with, after evaluating the first quarter of the season, we're going to make adjustments and put the players out there that's going to help us win games. But you presume Fitz the starter. So what are we left to believe? Because some of y'all get mad at what I get out of that. So what are we left to believe about Tua? So some of y'all who keep on making these excuses based off of Flores say not what you believe, because I understand what you believe. What you believe is nothing wrong with believing that. I actually agree with a lot of it. But based off of what Brian Flores is telling us right now, what are we left to believe about Tua Tagovailoa? If you're going to put, after 4 games in the season, you're going to make the adjustments to put the players out there that's going to help us win games, what does that leave us to believe about Tua Tagovailoa? Because you already done said you presume Fitz will be the starter. I'm just curious. Straight up curious. That ain't it. We got more.
I'll leave it right there and, let the results take care of themselves. But it was help us all that much.
Josh. Hey, Flo, good afternoon. I only asked as a follow-up to your first response regarding Tua.
Oh, this is the good one.
Since you did bring the injury in the answer, in terms of health, is
hold on. I got to preface this. The guy said, I only follow up because he don't want Flores to get mad if I keep asking about it. He says, I only follow up because you mentioned injury. See, I like what these reporters do. They're calling them on this stuff right now. They say, I only follow up because you mentioned injury earlier. Because we've been led to believe ain't no issue with injury, right? So the guy's like, let me clarify here. You mentioned injury earlier. You said the guy came off of an injury and then stopped talking. My bad. Let me get back to it.
Has he checked all the boxes that you guys have looked for in camp and in practices, or are there still any hesitations or lingering questions in regard to either his hip or the mobility?
No, he's checked all the boxes from a medical standpoint. He has. I think we just
see the pausing. You see the pausing?
I mean, the honest thing for me is if it was my kid and he had a serious injury like that, I wouldn't want his coach to be in a rush to throw him in there because of media pressure or anything like that. So that's kind of how I approach this situation and really all situations with the players. They, essentially they are my kids. So, there's no one's going to pressure me into doing anything. We feel like he's ready to go.
Excuse me.
Put him in.
Here we go. Let's break that down, baby. This is what I've been waiting on. Did y'all hear what he just said? Oh, let's break that down. So first of all, they call you out and say you brought up injury. Is there something that's still lingering? Is he moving bad out of his, is he shifting, his body shifting bad, or is it something with play? Is it something with the injury? Is he cleared? Is there something, Flores? They basically called him out and asked, is there something? Shout out to Russell Vora saying, I sent you a tweet. You just played that part. I appreciate it, man. One moment, guys. Give me a second. Hey, I got my phone, okay? My bad, guys. So, hold on. They just basically asked you, is something going on with the injury? Does he not check all the boxes? Is he lingering? And do you not like the way he's moving? Or are you just being cautious? And he was quick to say, no, I mean, he checks all the boxes. He's fine. So he checks all the boxes and he's fine, right? Which ain't nothing wrong with this kid in regards to injury. They don't have any concern about how he coming out of his this and that and how he's moving. He checks all the boxes. He is fine. Then Flores pauses for another 3 seconds and stutters and goes into something that we didn't even ask. Well, if you want my truth, no, No, see, when you preface something, if you want my truth, we didn't ask you for it. It sounds like something ain't gonna be truthful you about to say. Or you just it ain't even gonna be relevant, but you're gonna make it relevant. Coming off of the injury, I wouldn't, if I was his parent, I wouldn't want to rush him, to play just because the media wants him to. So nobody's going to make me do anything. And I see all of them as my sons. Let's back up for a second. Hold on. I am here to tell y'all right now that the injury is an excuse to hide the real freaking reason. I agree with Mr. Ballgame and what he said yesterday. I'm starting to believe they don't like him. They don't like what they see from him on the field. They don't like what they see from him on the field. You can't tell us that he checks all the boxes and he's just fine. You don't have a problem with how his body's shifting. You don't have any concern. And then say, as his father, I wouldn't want to rush him out there. Let me tell y'all why it's a bunch of malarkey when people talk about, well, you don't want to rush a guy back fresh off of his injury. Let me tell y'all something, and any doctor would tell you this. If you break your hand, as soon as you're 100% healed from breaking your hand, it's no difference from 10 years from now when you ain't break your hand. If you're fully healed today, next year around this time, don't make the same healing any better. You don't feel any more comfortable about it. It's a lie. And if y'all don't see the common sense behind that, once you're 100% healed, your risk for injuring it again or even tweaking it the slightest is the same today that it is next year, this exact time. You know why? You're 100% healed. Now, if you're 95% healed, which means it's healed, but it's still, you're still going through rehab, the muscle is still getting stronger, or the whatever's still getting tightened or whatever, then your risks go up. But when you are 100% healed from something, your risk today is the same as it is next year. If you don't see that, you're ignoring common sense. But common sense ain't common at all. That is true now. That is true. Common sense is not common at all. I forgot about that. Maybe I should slow down here. Maybe I should slow down for a second because I sound real mean to certain people because common sense ain't common at all. But for all y'all who still don't understand, I'm going to say it for one last time. An injury that you had last year, the moment you become 100% healed from it, your risk of re-injuring or even tweaking it is the same today as it is a year from now. So this whole narrative of rushing a guy back is a blanket for whatever the real issue is. And I am here to tell y'all right now, I am starting to believe they just don't like the kid. At least they don't like him more than Fitz. They don't like him more than Fitz, at least. That don't mean I don't like the kid, even though some of y'all think I hate him. I know he better than Fitz. But maybe, just maybe, they are telling us something here. And all you people that don't know football who hate on me anyway are going to interpret this TD hating on Tua. That's not what I'm doing. This organization is, if you believe he the guy, what they're doing right now and what they're saying, they're the ones hating on him. Because he should be playing. He should be playing. It makes no sense. And Flores ain't the guy to compare other quarterbacks in this league, and he's right about that. It's not Flores' job to compare Herbert and Tua or Burrow and Tua. But it's ours. It's ours. The proof is right there in front of you. These guys got, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. If Tua comes out playing like Herbert or Burrow, come on, y'all. Come on. If Tua was out here playing like Herbert or Burrow, come on. Then he should definitely be starting, because guess what? Herbert and Burrow is playing better football than the journeyman who loves to throw interceptions. Shout out to Lieutenant Dan and say, we may be playing Fitz because we're tanking again. I'm not even for that, man. I don't even entertain the tanking talk. Because that's just trash of an organization to do. I know we trying to win. But is this the best that our team has to offer? Is Ryan Fitzpatrick the best that our team has to offer at the quarterback position? Because for all y'all who say I'm hating, if you know that Tua is better than Fitz, then what do you have to say about Brian Flores saying, after we reevaluate everything, we are going to put guys on the field at every position that's going to help us win games? But then he says he presumes Fitz will be the starter. So all y'all who keep on saying that I'm just hating, then tell me what you think about that. What do you think about Flores saying that? Because that is a knock on Fitz. I mean, that's a knock on Tua. I ain't knock him. That's Flores doing that then, if you believe that. Somebody say, is he throwing a smoke screen? It depends on which way he throwing it. Is he throwing a smoke screen to say, oh, Tua is the best thing ever and we just don't want to play him yet? Or is he throwing a smoke screen and just trying not to let you know Tua ain't looking good for us? Good job. You colored that? Yeah. Go color another one, okay? Come on, man. Y'all say he don't want the 49ers to know? But some of y'all same people, when you see Fitz coming out there with his beard next week versus the 49ers, then what? Then what was he trying to say? See, we can keep on throwing out these, maybe it was just because of this, maybe it was just because of that. But as time keeps going and we keep being wrong about making all these excuses or what it might be, and then we find out it wasn't, then what's up? What's really going on? And people get mad at me because even though Ball Game presented this, but I agree now. People get mad that we feel like Miami may not believe in Tua. They may not believe in it. What's the best compliment that they've given Tua up to this point? Put it in the comment section if you know the best compliment that they've given Tua up to this point. Carlos, man, this is not overreaction. We're talking about possibilities, bro. It's nothing more, nothing less. There's nothing more, nothing less. We're talking about, okay, so, and I know this is hypothetical, but what happens next year if they trade Tua and then they draft Lawrence? And we don't know nothing. The whole Rosen situation happened again without Tua ever playing. Y'all gonna be shocked. But y'all, some of y'all are so close-minded, you don't even want to entertain possibilities, and that's why you always shocked. You were shocked about the Laramie Tunsil, and I told y'all that. You were shocked about Jarvis Landry, and I told y'all that. You were shocked about Jay Ajayi, and I told y'all that. Y'all keep being shocked. And when I tell y'all this, I'm not saying it from a place like I know. I'm telling you logical possibilities. So don't brush off the fact that they may not like Tua. They may love him, but don't brush off the fact they may not like him. Because look at all the evidence in front of us. What are we left to believe? What are we freaking left to believe? It makes no sense. This conversation don't make me right or wrong, and whatever you believe on the other side don't make you right or wrong. But all I'm asking some of y'all to do is acknowledge the facts behind this. I still ain't get an answer yet from not one of y'all either, especially the ones who arguing. I still ain't get an answer on my question of, so if Flores is going to put the guy out there who's going to help us win games and give us the best chance to win, and he presumes that's Fitz, what does that mean? We know it ain't got nothing to do with no injury. That's your smoke screen. Well, you know, if I was his parent, I wouldn't want to rush him out there. We're going to put him out there when we feel it's best. We're gonna play him when we feel that it's the right time to play him. We're going to do what's best for the team and the individual. Maybe they still don't believe in the O-line. Hey, listen, that's a fair comment. I ain't even getting on you. But at the end of the day, at this point, y'all, put a yes or no in the comment section. Can the O-line be a reason? At this point, can the O-line be a reason why they not playing Tua? Put it in the comment section, just a yes or a no. At this point, 4 games in, and they presume Fitz will remain the starter, could that be a reason why they not playing Tua? Sorry, that ain't going to cut it anymore. O-line is not going to cut it anymore. Everybody's saying no, and TK is saying yes every 50 comments. Nobody believes that anymore. You're not going to get a better O-line than this. A matter of fact, your O-line shouldn't even be playing this well. There ain't many O-lines in the NFL playing this well. So if you don't believe in the O-line now, you will never believe in them. Because the level of play that they're playing at, this is top 5 O-line play. You can't expect to sustain this. You can expect to be solid, but at some point they got to give up more than this. They got to play a little worse than this. I can't imagine our O-line being this good for the next 5 years. Come on, man. Bro, Rob said, let's not over-exaggerate. Have you seen our O-line in the last 20 years and you say I'm exaggerating? What they're doing now compared to the last 20 years and you said that I'm exaggerating, bro? Dwayne said Flores is waiting for the right situation to put Tua in the game. If you can enlighten us on what that situation would look like say this happens, we put Tua in. Say that happened, Flores would put Tua in. It looks like there's only one situation that Flores is willing to put Tua in. Because he already said, as the number 2, he's one play away. And what does that mean when the number 2 is one play away? If the number 1 guy get hurt. It's like the Patriots tonight. The only reason the quarterback is playing is because Cam can't. And it can't be a case of, well, we don't want to do Fitz wrong and just bench him. We don't owe Fitz nothing. He ain't take us to no playoffs. He ain't win us no Super Bowl. He ain't did this, that, or this. We don't owe him nothing. This ain't no Patrick Mahomes and Alex situation where the guy was running the franchise, breaking records, going to Pro Bowls, and looking amazing for so long and was the face of the franchise. That ain't what this situation is. This ain't no Lamar Flacco situation, even though Lamar eventually got in. Where Flacco won a Super Bowl and they just couldn't do him wrong like that. That ain't what this is. They can like Fitzmagic, but they don't owe him nothing. They don't owe him anything. Brett Favre situation. This ain't a Brett Favre situation. At this point, even with Jordan Love, even though he ain't doing well, they don't owe him nothing. Patience is a virtue until you look up and realize you've been wasting time. You ever heard that part of that? Patience is a virtue until you look up and realize how much time done went by that you wasted. I wonder how y'all feel if Tua come out playing next year and looking like Sam Darnold. Then how that patience is a virtue look. We don't know. I am going to keep beating the table, put that kid in so I can know. But I'm starting to believe that this coaching staff already knows. I'm starting to believe this coaching staff already knows. TD, you must not have seen the quote straight out of Dolphins camp where it said the Dolphins coaches and higher-ups are recent. Oh, hold on. Let me read this. And higher-ups are secretly raving internally about Tua. Bro, you said it was a quote. So who was the quote by? You see how they do that, y'all? The coaches and the higher-ups are secretly raving about Tua. Don't say that that's a quote. It's a quote when you got a name at the bottom. Because an unknown quote could just be something you spewing out of your mouth or the person you heard it from. So if you got a specific person, yes, let mommy know, okay? Mommy. Don't say reporter. That ain't telling me nothing. Reporters lie. Reporters lie to be relevant. Tell that same reporter go on record to say, and then on top of it, who told the reporter? This is how, listen, I can go on Twitter late tonight and start putting stuff, inside source told me today. The Miami Dolphins will not start Tua Tagovailoa this year. He's looked so great in practice, they will not like to risk it. Blah, blah, blah. I can write all that, and guess what? People going to be on other threads. Did y'all hear the new report? TDPHINSTALK reported it. He said that he got a source that, and y'all going to take it as factual news. There are people out here that's going to take it as factual news. Sources say. People in the organization secretly rave about Tua from the GMs and coaches. Come on, man. I bet it got 5,000, 10,000 clicks too. Wherever you got it from, I bet you got 1 million clicks. They play with your emotions. They play with your emotions. Somebody said I almost like the title. Well, if you can comprehend, you'll see it ain't almost like the title. Miami Dolphins may not believe in Tua. I gave you a substantial reason why. I didn't quote anybody. I didn't say sources say Miami Dolphins don't believe in Tua. That's the ignorance of some people. They don't know the difference. If I would have said sources say Miami Dolphins don't believe in Tua, then you got me. And that's the problem. People can't even comprehend a title. They can't even comprehend a title. So it's easy to understand why they believe when people come out here saying, sources say internally the organization's raving about Tua. Now I see why people believe it. Now I see exactly why. They can't even comprehend this basic title right here. People gonna read this title that says Miami Dolphins may not believe in Tua. Don't that sound like an opinion, y'all? Don't that sound like an opinion? But they gonna go out there and say, TD out here saying the Dolphins don't believe in Tua. Where say that at? Some of you, boy, I tell you, reading comprehension, boy. I promise y'all, reading comprehension. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't do good in reading comprehension either when I was in middle school, high school. I had to get good at it in college. Otherwise, I would have just failed out. But it was a lot of things I got better at in college. So I admit that. You know, in middle school, high school, I didn't do well with reading comprehension. I didn't care to. In college, I had to care. And I got a lot better. But some of y'all, boy, y'all done gave up. Straight gave up. Y'all read an opinion and say, oh, you wrong. I just gave an opinion. Why you acting like I'm telling you I'm trying to instill a fact on you? Sad, man. It's like they never say Tua in college. May not is the ultimate plug for clickbait. That's because that's how you interpret it. Read the title and say, am I interested in here? This is what you're supposed to do. When you see an article, right, that says Miami Dolphins may not believe in Tua. If your mind says may not is the ultimate clickbait typically, or is that what your mind goes to? Or does your mind go to what a educated person would do and say, I wonder, should I read this person's perspective on why they don't believe it, why they may not believe on it? You know, it's that simple. A normal person that made common sense is supposed to read that and say, I wonder if I want to hear this person's opinion on why they may not believe in it. But some other people, they like, oh, that's clickbait. For the life of me. Anywho, some people don't know the difference between opinion and a fact. That's why this whole world out here arguing opinions now. And then when they bring facts to the table, I don't want to hear that. Oh man. Put a question mark, TD. Why? Miami Dolphins may not believe in Tua. I should have put an exclamation. What Brian Flores said today. That's an explanation. The semicolon should have been up and down. It should have been a semicolon. I'm getting sloppy, y'all. I agree with TD. He is saying may not. He has facts. Let me see. Man, I'm so far behind. Y'all commenting so fast. All right. I agree with TD. He has facts to back up his claim, but it is not 100% sure yet. And I continue. And this crazy thing is, do y'all remember at the beginning of the stream when I said not in any way did I say Tua sucks? Not in any way does it make anything we're about to talk about factual. This is just what I believe, breaking down what Brian Flores says. My interpretation of it. Didn't I start the stream saying that? Any of y'all was here at the beginning when the first 100 people was here and I said that? And the reason why I said it, because I knew what we were going to have. Some of these people that can't articulate words. Yes? Okay, did you get your water? Nope, you got to finish that water. You're the only one that didn't drink your water today. TD don't play games. But listen, man, I don't play games with people that play games. Not doing it. All right, thank you for the talk, TD fans up from Arizona. Appreciate you, Danny, man. TD, they have been drinking, man. H2O. Yeah, he got to drink his water. He think he going to get his little juice and didn't finish his water earlier. No, sir. You finish that water, you'll get your little juice. It's probably too late for you to get your juice anyway. Why are the Chiefs letting Hoyer look like Brady now? Interesting. Flores did mention Tua had a devastating injury. I took that as a hint. He said to me, yeah, you're right. I took it as a hint too. But like I said earlier, what does the devastating injury have to do with right now? If you're 100% healed, what you're concerned about is the same concern a year from now. Your percentage of tweaking it or re-injuring is 100% the same today as it is a year from now. So we could take it as a hint all we want. But what does it matter? What does it matter? That's what I don't understand. Unless one of y'all can help me understand that. Less than a year. Bro, it could have been 2 days as far as all I care. As soon as you're 100% healthy, that means your risk of re-injuring or tweaking whatever it was is the same as it is going to be a year from now. That's the point. We got another fumble and the Chiefs got it now. This is turnover heaven. And how is Mahomes struggling against a terrible? Oh my God! Why is Mahomes only got 6 points on the board? I guess the defense is playing that well. Somebody said unless he isn't healthy, and then we'd be having a lying coach and lying doctors, a lying player. Everybody would be lying. Tua would be lying. Every doctor would be lying. They lie. That means they risking getting fined for lying on the injury report. Flores would be lying. And it's hard to think that everybody's lying, right? Because why would they lie? If he's still working on it and not 100%, then nobody would care. Okay, that's what it is. Nobody would even be like, put Tua in. Everybody would shut up. Matter of fact, it's starting to make me feel like they should lie and say he's still hurt. It's that simple, man. Thank you, TD. Lying coach is my topic tomorrow. Well, I'm not saying the man lying, but I'm answering that person's question that if he is still hurt, then that means our coach, our front office, Tua himself, and the doctors are all lying. And I wouldn't dare say that. I almost want to make it a fact that that's not the case. Matter of fact, they're not lying. I'm going to make it a fact. They're not lying. They're not lying. I'm with TD. He's probably out there looking like garbage. I gotta keep it I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. Y'all see them clips that was released the other day that I put on all the pages on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook of all those beautiful passes and those dimes, and I put at the top of the caption, "Why isn't this guy starting?" Y'all remember all that? I went and I cross-referenced those plays. Yes, sir. You got your sticker? Yeah. Mommy gave it to you? Yeah. It looks nice. It's a pumpkin? Yeah. Okay. My bad, y'all. I went and I cross-referenced those clips. I went back to all the beat writers and all of Omar, all those guys, and I said, okay, did they mention Tua throwing a 30-yard pass to I already forgot his name, the receiver? I found it. Did they mention the fade in the end zone? The day it was end zone work. Did they mention the little comeback route? Never mentioned it. Those are the 3 clips that were released to Tua. They never mentioned that comeback one. I don't remember that one. It was a whatever throw anyway. It was tight coverage actually against second stringers. If it was a first stringer, it might have actually been picked. But I went and I looked at all of them, right? I said, okay, those passes are accounted for with media in training camp. But these are the same writers that said, I'll let you know when Tua does something for us to rave about. But they had already talked about that. Jiggy, jiggy palm trees. You said, TD, you're bored? What board? What board are you talking about? Are you letting me know something? Is there a board I need to look at? Because you spelled it B-O-A-R-D, so I'm looking for a board. Or did you mean bored, like, oh, you're bored, like you're bored of something? I don't know. I was just trying to figure that out. You said never mind. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a very literal person, so I try to not make people sound any type of way. I just want to really articulate and understand what people saying and doing. Words and the detail behind them matter to me. Because sometimes you'll be confused. No, I didn't mean that. Oh, well, that's what it said. TD, where are you at on the gallon of water? Well, I poured this right before I went live. This is like a 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 a.m. starts here. 9 p.m. comes here. So 9 p.m. down here, but 5 p.m. is here. I'm already at 5 p.m. I'll be at 9 p.m. soon. So getting the whole day in right now, even though I've been drinking water earlier. TD, do you personally have real concerns about Tua's skill sets as quarterback? My honest assessment of the kid, all I have is what I have. I'm not going to sit around here and guess at who he is right now as a player, but this is what we were left to believe. If you want to really be an unbiased person about Tua Tagovailoa, I feel like this is what you should come up with, but I'm not you. Here we go. We have a kid who has one of the best arms ever, who can make some of the craziest throws you've ever seen. Positive, good attitude, all that stuff, right? I always look at how will Tua translate to the next level. So how do I break it down? He played with all 5-star players. He had the best offensive line in college football. Argue it all you want. It's top 5. It's the best. Best receiving core in college football. Best tight end, best running game, best defense to even give you more possessions. People don't talk about that. Best defense to cause turnovers to get you more cracks that have an even higher stats and numbers. None of this is a negative on Tua, but it's something for you to sit to the side and make sure that you hold in that glass jar as a factor. Why is that a factor? Because it's been proven that when you're surrounded by great talent, it makes you look even better or allows you to be your best self, especially if you're playing against inferior competition. Tannehill is a perfect example of it. A lot of times we played teams that were better than us, defensive lines that were better than our offensive line, and Tannehill got a stigma that he was trash. He goes and get a team that can protect him, has weapons, and a great run game. And the analysts say had he played all season, he would have been an MVP candidate. Do you know what it means to be an MVP candidate in the NFL and go to the AFC Championship game and to make it to the Pro Bowl and to now win Comeback Player of the Year? You were not a bum to begin with. But that is the element of football that all these quote-unquote experts, they ignore. The quarterback is the reason you win, and the quarterback is the reason you lose. All the other factors, it doesn't matter. If your defense sucks, then maybe you need to be that good to score on every possession. They put everything on the quarterback. And it's unfair and it's a wrong narrative to have if you're a real football head. Why? Because it's lazy work by our media. They don't want to talk about everybody else because it's too much work understanding their stats and learning their game and their strengths and weaknesses. So they make life easy and just talk about quarterbacks all day. Because it's the one thing they can do to sell. It's a lie, y'all. And everybody out here feeding into it. The team around you will make you. And they can certainly break you. They can certainly break you. It's that simple. So with Tua Tagovailoa, I was nervous to draft this kid at number 5. It doesn't mean it wasn't a great selection, but I'm scared of that factor because players like Tua, there are factors that weren't exposed enough. You don't have a large enough sample size to really say that you scouted him. He can have the intangibles. He can have the intangibles. But you weren't able to scout him fairly. Let me tell you why. I did the research. I did a video on this in the past. Some of y'all may remember. Tua Tagovailoa was one of the least intercepting throwing. He threw the least, one of the least guys who threw interceptions in college football history. He threw the least amount. He threw 7 or 8. I gotta go back and look. Interceptions in his career. Somebody said 11. I think I did a sample size of 7. Because I think I didn't include the first 4 or something like that. Because I wanted to get where he had the meat of him playing. I think it was actually the last 4 or something that I didn't include. I wanted to get the meat of him in a stride of playing. But when I went and looked at the interceptions, no, you're right, it was 11. When I went and looked at the interceptions, there were like 9 out of 11 interceptions, all coming from a ranked team. all coming from a ranked team that was in just about the top 10 the same time he was, which tells you it was better defenses. Not only did I go to look at the numbers statistically, I went and looked for those turnovers on film, and I watched them. With the exception of one, every single one of them was against a great defense that got him on either he went with his first read and they jumped the route because he already knew where he was going to go. I'm going there no matter what. Down said hut, threw the ball. And you look at the defender on the play and you say, wow, as soon as the ball was hiked, the defender came straight downhill like he knew it was coming, and Tua threw it anyway. Which tells me he never read the defense on that. He knew where he wanted to go. Or it was a play where he showed his superior mechanics. He looked to the right, turned left, and already was coming in a throwing motion. He hiked the ball, looked right. On his way turning left, he's already ready to cock back and throw it. And he lets it ride because he never looked to the left. He already knew that's where he was throwing. Intercepted. And I watched the rest of the plays, and it was those two things that concerned me. It's either he's going to the first read or he's using his mechanics to win and throwing to the other guy regardless of what's back there. If the safety played it well, he's going to get picked. And people argue with me and they said, but yes, TD, that was a small sample size though because he only got 7 picks. But you got to ask yourself why. Because when you're playing with the best receivers all day, your first read is open 99% of the time. So when he throws it, you never actually get to see if he can read the defense. When he looks the safety off and then he just throws it the other way, 99% of the time, that sorry safety he was playing bit for the mechanics. So he left us with a small sample size. In one, credit his mechanics are so superior. The kid is mechanical out there. It's superior. And that is huge because it gets the job done. But when you're playing Clemson, they came out. LSU, the secondary, they came out and said, we knew it would be easy to defend Tua because he doesn't read defenses. This wasn't my words. This was theirs. They said he doesn't read defenses. He tries to look the safety off, and we knew every time he looks one way, don't bite for it. And they picked him off twice. They said they knew they would be able to do that. These aren't my words. These are players that played against him, told the world what their game plan was, and it worked. On the biggest stage in the biggest games of his career. So I'm supposed to ignore that? Because in the NFL, every week it's like playing LSU versus Alabama. Every week in the NFL, it's going to be LSU versus Alabama. The competition is much greater. Don't get me wrong. You got some bum teams. I get that. But more than not, the level of competition is going to be better, and they're going to know this stuff. So for me, I'm sitting back. We don't have a large enough sample size to know if he's really good in those areas because even the small sample size we have, he's trash in that area. Anytime he plays a good team in college, he throws his picks, And it's because he's not reading the defense. And he goes to the first read. So I'm left there saying, do you draft this at number 5? I had to make a compromise and say, with his talent, I would still take him at 9, but I don't like him at 5. And whether y'all want to believe it or not, my decision to not run him at 5 wasn't even about the injury. I may have said, with the injury too, I may have said that, but it wasn't about the injury. It was about solely that. Another great quarterback that you really don't have all the answers you want because they were in a perfect situation. You want to see a guy like Tua have some dog-out battles his whole college career and just work through it and get better and better. That's what you want to see. You want to see that he's reading the defense and everything, and Burrow did it. Burrow in the best competition, audibling, reading the defense, doing it all. I got to see that from Burrow. That don't mean Burrow is more talented than Tua from a skill standpoint. But I at least got to see him react against the greatest competition that schemes for his strengths and weaknesses, and he ripped it apart. But y'all tell me one of Tua's biggest games in college football after he took over at the end for that championship, I'm talking about as the yearly starter. Give me one game that was a top 10 team in college football that he didn't make those mistakes, that he didn't throw picks, that he didn't make mistakes from not reading the defense. Give me a game. I went back and watched them all. Give me a game. Give me the game. Don't give me freshman year. I said once he became the certified starter, that year, the full year. Give me a game. How can you say LSU? LSU the one that got him twice. LSU's the one that got him twice. I told y'all I went from his last 2 years. I went a year and a half. I went from a year and a half. They didn't know nothing about that man the early tour. I went from the year he took his team undefeated and went to the national championship and lost. And I went the rest of the next year right before he got hurt. In that time frame, give it to me. Give me the game. He don't have it. And the team they would have had to been ranked at the time. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there at all. Y'all better go back and look at it. Go back and look at the games where he turned the ball over. Any meaningful game that this man had against another top team, it's not there. It's that simple. How am I creating a ridiculous narrative? And these are facts, bro. These are facts. Go check it out. Go look at all the games where he threw his interceptions. They aren't. Watching highlights, bro. I watched the game film, man. I'm looking at this man interceptions and why he threw them. I'm looking at his interceptions and why he threw them. He's not reading defenses. In any game of any success, his guy is wide open. Any game y'all naming right now, if I pulled up the film right now, you gonna show me that any of those guys ain't wide open? Any game y'all mentioning right now, put a yes in the comment section. You gonna show me that the guys aren't wide open in them catching the ball. Y'all know good and well, guys on the field wide open. Wide open. Y'all can call it hate all y'all want, but that was my concern with Tua. That was my concern with Tua. See, they say stuff like, man, put up 41 points versus LSU. Was that the game he had 2 picks in the fumble? I'm not talking about how many points he put up. I'm talking about the mistakes that he made to lose the games. If he don't throw those 2 interceptions and fumble the ball, they don't lose that game. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? They don't lose the game. At all. That's what matters, man. Somebody said show. Man, they're going to shut me down, man. They're going to shut me down. Let me see. TD, you're right, TD. I know, man. TD, I believe what is being omitted from, omitted from the tour discussion is we forgot that head coach Brian Flores is the only in his second year. He's learning on the fly too. Question, who was hired with Flores to help him? You're right, and he's not here. What's his name again? Gosh, I don't know why it's escaping my mind. They actually brought him in to help him, but he's not even here. Gosh, what is his name again? I don't know why I'm having a brain fart right now. Because he stepped away for personal reasons or whatever it was. Caldwell, yeah, exactly. Yes, sir. Well, you got to ask mommy, Cam. Jim Caldwell, yeah. So I get that, but that still don't have nothing to do with this man making the decision to put Tua in the game. It don't make no sense to still not put Tua in the game. I just, for the life of me, I can't give him a pass on that. Only way Flores is going to get a pass for this man is if Tua just ain't good. But none of us believe that. None of us believe that. I don't know anybody who believe Tua not good, man. Select the quarterback 2021. If we did go in the 2021 draft with high draft picks, who would y'all select? Alan said, TD, you're right, and I'm a diehard Alabama fan. I know, man. They being delusional, man. They being delusional. They being straight up delusional, man. Trevor, Lawrence, Patrick Surtain Jr. Ooh. I can't wait till the day you have to eat those words. Which words? You got to be more descriptive. Which words are you talking about? Matter of fact, I actually want to stay there. I'm just curious. Which words are you talking about, bro? Bubba Bedford. That's who it was. We waiting on the reply, Bubba. If you were talking to me, which words you can't wait for me to eat one day? I'm curious. Tua ain't that good words. See, I'm going to wait for Bubba to say that. I'm going to wait for Bubba to say that. Because I'm just curious, what words is he talking about? I'm going to let Bubba speak for himself. I ain't going to have y'all tell me what words he talking about. Because I'm just interested. Where you at, Bubba? You done disappeared on us when we call you out to the front of the... What words, man, are you talking about? Did Bubba disappear on us, y'all? He done went missing? All right, man. It is what it is. Because whatever words y'all talk about me eating, you probably ain't even understanding the words I said. I never said the man was trash or he sucked. But that's what some of y'all formulate in your mind. TD saying that he's not good. I never said that. So why would I ever have to eat those words if that's what you were talking about? Never said that. Some of y'all, that's what y'all read into it, man. Let's see here. We need some linebackers and some defensive ends. That's true. You don't scare Bubba TD. Where he at? That's what I was saying. I ain't trying to scare him. But where he at, man? Y'all funny, man. Y'all is too hilarious. TD just giving constructive criticism. They don't want to believe that, man. Listen, they don't like that. They don't like that thing called constructive criticism at all. TD, how do you feel about Flo right now? That's what I'm trying to assess, but I really don't have a specific way of how I feel. I don't have, because I don't know what's what. I don't know. Maybe I should be happy about him because he's really keeping us silent, leaving us in the dark. Oh, what's going on? I ride with Flores, y'all, just so y'all know. I'm riding with Flores at the end of the day. Let me see. Input. All right, the TV good. I'm riding with Flores. I think he's all right, man. I'm just trying to understand some of this stuff as of late, man. This whole notion about, Tua, he has no concern for injury yet. You're not going to rush anybody just because the media want him to. Are you talking about rushing him from the injury, or are you talking about just rushing him from playing? I don't know. I don't know, man. I have no clue. Don't have no clue, man. Tua is the answer. T, do you hear that Bill O'Brien was fired today? Beautiful for the Dolphins. Beautiful for the Dolphins, man. Beautiful for the Dolphins. Great draft stock, great draft situation. Man, it's a win, man. It is a win. It is a win, man. I'm with it. I am with it. TD the game. What about it? Kansas City up 19-10 over the Patriots in the fourth quarter. Hopefully they can continue to sustain that. Hopefully they can continue to sustain that. Flores is starting to wear me down. I get it, man. It's not easy. It's really rough. It's rough, man. Here's what I'm going to do, man. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to do something special for y'all, man. I'm trying to do something special for y'all. Let me see. I'm pulling up this stuff y'all was trying to tell me to pull up. All right. Oh, boy. TDB doing it just to do it for y'all, man. Is this the game y'all talking about? Is this the game that y'all talking about? Right here? National championship? Is this the one that y'all were trying to tell me about? Is this it? Just curious. Oh, my bad. I got the I can't actually see all y'all comments. Yep, that's the first quarter, first drive. I don't know what he's saying. Play his highlights. Highlights? Let's see. Matter of fact, man, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna ruin this stream. What I'm gonna do is start another one, and we can go ahead and look at some of his film on the next stream. That way they could take that, if they take it down afterwards, they don't mess with all the conversation we had on this video. Is that cool, y'all? That's what we'll do. We'll just start a new stream. We'll end this one. And we'll look at some of his film together and let's talk about it. Y'all, yeah, I'm going to go off of what y'all want to see so y'all can educate me. I'm an open book. I don't want us to remain in my ignorance if that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So let's do that. I'm going to end this stream. Y'all come right back and we're going to watch some Tua film of college. Some of the biggest, best games. So some of y'all don't be getting nervous now. Go on in your arsenal. Go on in your arsenal. And say, yeah, I'm going to have this game right here. TD put this one up. Yeah, I told you. Yeah, go on in your arsenal. All right. See y'all soon.